So is it showing up for you?
Screen share.
I did screen share. Is it not doing it? I keep doing this up. It's not doing it again. Hey, it's just the music.
Okay. Does my head look big in this dress?
Yup. All right, everyone. Welcome to Random Hangout. I'm Eva Taylor, publisher of DIY Marketers, and I got my cohort, Rhonda Wall. Where are you at, Rhonda?
I am in the parking lot of a Target in Daytona Beach across from the Daytona International Speedway, which I went to because I am a true Southern girl who loves my racing, so I had to go over there and stick my hands in the sidewalk where Dale Jr. stuck his hands, and the guy has little feet, so that's why he drives race cars, evidently.
He drives race cars because he has little feet. Is that what you're saying?
Because he has little feet, and we know what they say about guys with little feet. So, I don't know. My feet are almost bigger than his.
Can we do a survey? Do you think that the little feet joke is true? Yes or no? Put your comment in the comment box. Is there a direct correlation between foot size and other things?
Yeah, and do you have any field what would you call it? Field research background in that area? You don't have to tell us that. You don't have to tell us how much research you've done.
Yeah, we don't care about how much research you did. Did you do primary research or secondary research? But guess what? This is not the topic of our session today. The topic.
Thank goodness.
Well, you know what? We have been so busy. The last week we did Random Hangout. I was in the throes of Bizapalooza, and we talked about virtual events. And then this week, you're on the road having your own technical challenges. And so we thought we would talk about that today. We would talk about what it's like to travel, work. You had some thoughts about that. We were chatting last night on the Skype.
Right, exactly. It's just like right now I'm sitting in the parking lot of a Target because I travel with a hotspot on my iPhone. But the hotspot on the iPhone, if the cellular signal isn't strong enough, I'm not going to be able to stream a Hangout, which was the dilemma. So I'm looking for either really strong, I need to actually like be under a Verizon cell phone tower, or have or go somewhere where there's like a really strong internet connection. And you would think Starbucks were more ready available, especially in a big place like Daytona, but they're not. There are no Starbucks within a 10-mile radius of Daytona.
Isn't there one inside the Target?
There is one inside the Target, but I can't pick up their internet out here, and I didn't want to go in there and everyone look at me like I done lost my mind because I'm talking to my computer. So I've decided to stay in the car, but I have sent my husband in to get me a Starbucks coffee, though.
So he'll be showing up any minute now with your Starbucks coffee, right?
Yeah, well, he'll probably walk around the Target because he could care less to listen to me ramble on this show. So anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about today is kind of some tips and tricks on traveling and working, because most of us became entrepreneurs because we do want to be able to like set our own hours and travel and have the freedom to do that. But when you're running your own company, and sometimes when you're the only person in your company, then you have to work because you have no other option but to work if you want to keep your clients happy and keep things running for them. Because just because you're on vacation, especially in the service industry, kind of like mine, I told all my clients I'm going on vacation, so I'm not doing anything big. So I said, hey, don't launch anything crazy, or, you know, because I'm not going to be able to man everything. I may not be in the parking lot of the Target.
Don't send any emails. Don't press any buttons.
Exactly. Don't touch nothing, please. Please do not play around in your back end. I have to get on to you about that. Oh. Because, yeah, and I've had that happen. I've been on vacation, and I've had clients be like, oh, well, I didn't want to bother you because you were on vacation, so I tried to make this little change, and now my website's down. And I'm like, oh, my God, please tell me you didn't do that. I would rather you send me an email and say, hey, can you make this little change, than you go back there and then call something that's going to take me hours to fix. So I tell my clients, hey, I'm on vacation, but if you need little things changed, please, please, please let me know. I will do them for you, I promise.
Should I share your secret on this hangout?
What's
things
the
that
secret?
people may not know about you, which is really insane. And we might have even talked about this when you were visiting. But one thing you may not know, you guys, about Rhonda, and this is probably one of the reasons why you want her as your online business manager. Everywhere she goes, she takes her laptop. And I mean, she takes her giant laptop everywhere she goes. And I said, Rhonda, we're going to the lake. We're going to the beach. And she goes, what did you say?
Somebody might need something. If I'm going to be away from a location for more than like an hour, then I'm taking my laptop with me. Because if someone has a meltdown, then I want to be able to fix it. And so I do. I take my laptop everywhere I go. It used to drive my husband insane, but now he's kind of used to it because I've been doing this for a while. So he doesn't get as mad as he used to. But he used to be really really mad about it. Do you have to take that laptop everywhere you go? You're all the time on that laptop and playing on that computer and blah, blah, blah. So, and he's like, these people will live. Life will not stop if you're not there.
So,
but it will worry me if I don't have my laptop and someone does send me an email and I see it come through on my phone and they're like, hey, this isn't working. Then most of the time it's like a quick fix. But if I can't get to it, then it's going to drive me insane, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy myself where I'm at. Does that make sense?
It makes
because I'm going to be sitting there thinking, okay, I just need to get home so I can. It's going to take me 10 minutes to fix this for them. I just need to get home. Instead of saying, hey, it's only going to take me 10 minutes to fix this. Let me find a Starbucks, fix this for them, and go back to enjoying what I was doing.
And
so that's what I would do. We have a good comment. Let's see.
It's Pierre.
Oh, yeah, about it's great that Rhonda can join in from Target. She raises a good point about the hotspot coverage. Good for text and web, not quite video. That's right. Yeah, I have the hotspot, and that's it. That's exactly what it is. It's that I can. My hotspot is great. I will ride down the road and use the hotspot, but when it comes to streaming a video, it's just not going to work because as you're riding, you're losing your signal for your cell phone is going up and down. So that I knew it wouldn't work for the Hangout, and I wanted it to be really good because I wanted to be on camera, and this is why. Go ahead and talk while I get my surprise ready.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I want to one of the things we said we were going to talk about was how to get away without really being away. So my whole tip was prepare, prepare, prepare. And we've already talked about that because Rhonda takes her PC everywhere she goes. I take a phone and a tablet for sure. I'm not as extreme as Rhonda. Most of the things that I need to fix aren't necessarily technical in nature, so my iPad is generally a good enough resource. But I had some other tips around preparation while you're getting ready. You just tell me when you're ready. One of them, inside of the world of preparation, is to make sure that you work ahead and schedule anything that needs to be scheduled, like your social media blogs and posts and things like that. Usually, and I'm not going to kid you about this, I don't know about you, Rhonda, but if I know that I'm going away, usually, because I do intend to participate in the rest of my life, I will start at least a couple weeks ahead, if not a month ahead, and start doing a little bit at a time, making sure that things are scheduled, that blog posts are written and scheduled, so that is one less thing I have to worry about. The other thing that you have, Rhonda, is you have a team member who can handle emergencies. I have Rhonda. Rhonda has a team member. Rhonda and I work together. I don't deal with her clients, but if I can help in any way I can, it's really good to have at least someone help out when you are away. And the last point I have before I turn it over to you is to, and it's maybe something we can talk about, I'd love to hear comments, is to decide on whether you're going to have...
Did you just now notice it?
I did. Because I was looking at my notes and my points, and I know I looked really natural on camera, but I was looking at my points, and suddenly I see this. What is that?
Okay, so we went to this farmer's market this morning at one of the beaches, and I found me a genuine Southern beach hat.
You look so good with that hat on.
I have like my little beach dress on with my little hat, so I thought you would appreciate my Southern hat that I picked up.
I totally love it. Can you leave it on?
I am. So if you guys can take me seriously, but this is really, it's a pretty hat, and I love it. The lady, awesome. You would not believe this. This stuff here, the pretty stuff, is supposed to go in the back.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, and the lady that was selling them, I said, no, I like it in the front. And you know what she said to me?
What?
She said, are you from North Carolina? Oh. And I said, yeah. And she said, everyone from North Carolina I sell these hats to want to put it in the front.
I would want to put it in the front, and I'm from Ohio, but I look terrible in hats.
I love hats, and I think they look pretty. Okay, so yeah, like even
you have a pretty nose.
Thank you. It makes my nose look okay. Okay. So my tips are a lot like yours, even. Before I came on this trip, this is like a 2-week road trip. I've spent the last 2 weeks working my buns off. I have worked very, very hard for the last 2 weeks. I even have a client that's running a telesummit right now, or that I'm running their telesummit. But it's going brilliantly. Knock on some wood because it's not over yet. But everything's going fine because I prepared. All of the emails are scheduled to go out. They're running like they're supposed to. The only thing we're doing is adding in links in the morning, and my assistant's doing that. And then I'll just check it on my laptop or on my phone just to make sure it looks good on my end and make sure everything's playing well. And yesterday we had a problem with the link, but we got it fixed really quickly and everything went fine. But I have been preparing for that telesummit, knowing that it was going to happen while I was on vacation. My hat's flopping while I talk. But knowing that I was going to have this telesummit going on while I'm on vacation. So that's the thing. It's preparation and having backup. So, I do have someone who is stationary who is manning things because if, where I'm at, I may not be able to upload an audio or whatever. So I have to have someone there. So it's good, even if they're not on your team, like you said, even if it's a colleague. Like even I know I haven't had to call on her, but I know if I ran into a snag and I'm like, hey, even something's gone crazy, could you do this or could you do that? She would definitely do it. So that it's good to have, let your colleague know, hey, I'm going to be on vacation. Another thing, let your clients know you're going to be on vacation. Even if you're still going to be available to them, most of the time they won't bombard you with big things if they know that you're on vacation because they understand. They're like, hey, she does need a break. She's been working really hard for me. So they won't bother you unless it's absolutely necessary most of the time if you let them know that you're on vacation. And for me, I don't mind working on vacation.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you do an autoresponder email for people that I have a friend, one of my designers, she is religious about creating autoresponder emails when she has any change in her calendar. And the reason she does this is because one of the things that she does for people is she has ridiculously fast turnaround. So that means that if I give her something, she may not even respond. I will just get the finished product inside of an hour or so. And so because of this expectation that she set up, she's very religious about her autoresponders, and when she's not going to be at her office or whatever, and you send her an email, like I got an email from her that said, hey, I'm going to be on vacation, and this is going to be happening, and I'm not going to be close to an internet connection or whatever. So I just want to let you know, if you need something, now is the time to tell me. Which,
right.
in that case, I thought was brilliant. I don't do autoresponders. Do you?
No, I don't. And this is the reason why. And I guess it goes with your industry. So, like, for her, people are expecting that, hey, she'll probably finish this, you know, before she even responds, or she's going to have this done tomorrow or whatever. But for me, I don't need the autoresponder because I only take about 10 clients. So that's my capacity. And most of my clients I have a really good relationship with, and I talk to them on a weekly basis. So I let them know well ahead of time when I plan to take a vacation. So that way they already know, and then when we do our weekly call, I can say, hey, remember now I have my vacation coming up, you know, in 2 weeks or, you know, next week. So if there's anything pressing that you want me to get done, let me know by, you know, whatever date so that I can make sure that it's done before I leave. And if there's anything that you can think of that may come up or that you think you're going to want done during that time while I'm gone, let me know, because a lot of that stuff I can set up to automatically happen. So that's usually what I do, and it's just because I do have a small, close-knit group of clients. So, but the autoresponder is great if you do service like a lot of people, or if you do little quick tasks like this lady that you were talking about for random people. So you may be doing quick tasks for, you know, 30, 40 people or whatever, and maybe it's just random and they send you stuff at random. And yeah, that's a good idea. And I do that too, because I do have a few clients that maybe I don't hear from them, but maybe once a month they need, you know, this little thing done or that little thing done. So I'll let them know, because I'm not talking to them on a weekly basis because they don't have something going on with me every single week. But the majority of my clients do. The majority of my clients work with me on a regular basis. So I just talk to them and let them know. But that's the key. Let people know when you're going to be on vacation, and let them know at least a week or two in advance if possible. And then plan, set systems up, automate things, buy a nice little fluffy hat.
Hey, so we talked a little bit about your, I know you've got some awesome gadgets for travel. We talked about taking your laptop. We talked about I can run my whole business off my little cell phone here.
Right.
So, and the tablet. What other cool gadgets do you have?
Right. I got one I can show you right quick because I'm charged up. So hold on.
Ooh, that's a beautiful hat.
Okay. So this is going to look a little perverted. Okay. So I have.
That does look perverted. What is it?
It does. So it looks like I'm milking something. All right. So this is a charger thing that you plug into the lighter.
Uh-huh.
Or the, whatever you call it, the volt thing. All right. And then it's got two little udders that hang off of it. So I have two things plugged in here. So this is a must-have because I've got so many things going in this car. That's why I'm running a Hangout from a car. And then what's in the second one is this little beauty right here. That's about 40 bucks. And I'm actually charging my laptop on this.
Where is that plugged into one of those things you got there?
Yeah, it's plugged into the cigarette charger thing.
Oh, awesome.
And then you can plug in, it even takes the 3-prong battery thing. I mean, yeah, the charger. This charges my laptop because, you know, like doing this Hangout, I'm using a lot of juice to do the Hangout. Right. So these are great. You can plug 3 things into this thing.
That's fantastic. Now, I know, do you have your little, one of the things I'm going to do, and I haven't bought one yet, but I want one, is one of those little purse pocket chargers.
Oh, yeah, I have one of those. It's in my little bag. I'll show you. Mine's like, I use that for my cell phone, and usually I'll use it when I'm going to be, like, out and about, like walking around somewhere. So say you go somewhere and you're going to be walking a lot and be away from phones, plug-ins where, you know, you don't want to sit by a plug-in. You can just plug it in to that little blue thing, which isn't in there. It's in my other bag underneath.
Your other bag. But you guys have seen the little power chargers. I don't know. I was just started looking at the power chargers and started to evaluate them. And I will tell you, one of the things that happened is I had a friend come and visit me, and we decided to take a road trip in the midst. And you know this. That's why we didn't do Random Hangout a couple weeks ago, because I was in an amusement park, and it was so loud. It was so loud, and I just absolutely couldn't do it. But one of the things, I sucked so much juice out of my phone that
that's another, like at an amusement park too. I use that thing. I think it's in my bag that's under my seat, but I use it at conferences. So if you're going to be, you know, down at a conference walking around and not in your room, not near your room, or you don't want to have to go back and charge your phone in the room, then you can just plug it into the little blue thing. Yeah, it's in my bag that's under the seat. I've got a camera and my tripod and some different things because I'm going to do some filming when I get to the Keys, because I'll have a pretty backdrop. And that's another thing. I mean, my husband laughed at me, but he's like, why are you taking a tripod on vacation? And I said, because we have, you know, you and I have an elite retreat coming up that we're planning for. Shh, don't tell no one. It's a secret, and we'll let you guys know when we put it together. But we're planning an elite retreat. I'm actually going to look at some of the resorts. And so I said, you know what? It'll be a great video opportunity for me to do like a promotional video in front of these different resorts. So that way when we decide which one we want to use, I've got a video, a promo video already recorded in front of that resort. So
once again, planning. Be prepared, because, you know, for those of us, one of the things that we are always talking about is repurposing content, and how do you have every experience that you have work inside your business, so you're not letting any waste or any scrap happen at all, right?
Exactly. I'm taking advantage of it all, and I want to have things here that I would have at home. So, you know, you see these opportunities, and then you're like, man, I would hate to be out here and say, man, I wish I would have brought my tripod, because this would have made a very good video, or, you know, whatever, and then I didn't have it. So I take everything with me. You can see I have, my car is loaded down to the little Prius is packed to the rim, because we're living out of the car basically for the next 2 weeks. So we haven't been taking a lot into like the motel rooms, but I have my little car packed down. Oh, let me show you too what I'm working from. This is my mobile desk.
Oh yeah, show us that. You guys have
probably seen these. So this is like, it's called an e-pad, and it's got like beanbag material on the bottom. I know you've seen those. And then it's hard tray on the top. Can you see it on there?
Yep.
So that's what, I put this on my lap, and then just set my laptop here, and that's my mobile desk, and I'll use that while we're going down the road. Plus, it's got a grip on it, so if my husband decides that he's going to ride the butts of the people in front of us and then slam on the brakes, my laptop doesn't go flying, because it's gripped. Like, I'm turning my laptop almost all the way over, and it's not sliding. So it grips, and it's really good for travel. So that's another little thing. Just over the years, I have just learned these things from traveling. I've learned these things from having some travel issues along the way. And so even my husband, I mean, he's just so used to it now, because I've been working from home for like 12 years now. So even with the little plug-in thing, I had one of those plug-ins and it messed up. And so my husband is on the search for a Radio Shack. So he knows. And he knows.
So I want to share a comment. Pierre's our active participant today. He's adding another thought. He finds quieter locations for addressing tasks, but finding those quiet locations can be difficult. Isn't that interesting? We can work anywhere, but doesn't make sense if the location isn't comfortable. So I totally get it. Like, you can't take notes or any of this other stuff. I get it.
Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's not comfortable. And there are some things that I just don't want to do. Ah, there's my husband with my coffee, sweet guy. Um, so there are some things that I just don't want to do in the car because I'm like, you know what? There's too many distractions. I'm trying to tell my husband how to drive, like all of us women do. I'm trying to work on something. I can't be the backseat driver and nag him going down the road and work on this stuff. So, but I'll wait till we get to the hotel room or whatever, and then I can have some quiet time while he's watching TV or whatever. So, yeah, I agree. There are some things you don't want to do in the car or while you're uncomfortable or cramped up. And I have those too. And a lot of times what I'll do too, we've kind of, and you learn this from who you travel with, your significant other, your husband, whatever. I usually get up earlier in the morning. I know you can't believe that because
I
even
know,
if
I
it's
saw an email from you at 8:30. I just about fell over.
yeah, but see, on vacation I get up a little earlier because I don't want to miss nothing, and I'm just that way. But my husband likes to sleep in a little bit. He'll get up earlier too, but earlier for him means before noon. But for me, normally I'm not up till like 8 or 8:30. But when I'm on vacation, I'm up at like 7. So that gives me, an hour or two to kind of have some quiet time in the room and get some stuff done before he gets up, and then we're both ready to go tackle the day.
Well,
So
I would love to hear some other people's tips. What are
yes,
your must-have items to take on vacation with you so that you can feel comfortable in working? And what are some of your tips for traveling and working together? Because, I love your point, Rhonda, about you take these things not so much so that you can do them, but so that you can relax and truly enjoy what you're doing, right? Now,
right.
I don't know if we have any, oh, do we have a vacation epiphany? No?
A vacation epiphany. Um,
Buy a hat, wear the flowers on the front.
you know what? You know what the epiphany is, and it hasn't been my epiphany like this time, but it was an epiphany somewhere else I was traveling here recently. I can't remember why, but anyway, when you think of all these different places and that people live or that you've never been to, even Ohio, coming up to see you. Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, things are just like totally different, but they're not. It's like no matter where you go, a lot of times the people are basically the same. They have the same things. They need to come to Target. They're going to the grocery store. They're running their lives. There's little towns here. There's, rednecks in certain places. There's city folks. It's like no matter where you go, everyone is basically the same, just in a different location. That's the epiphany. Everyone's the same, just living in a different location. And it honestly is. I mean, the weather might be different or, little things like that, but everyone's lives kind of just go on the same. And I don't know why, but for me, I just didn't think about it that way until you go other places. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, it would be so nice to, live in Florida. But these people in Florida aren't doing a whole lot more than what I'm doing. Of course, it's beautiful here, and they have bluer water, and it's warmer temperatures, and that would be the reason I'd want to live there. But, everyone, you're still living that life, and life still goes on. So, if you're in North Carolina and you got problems and you move to Florida, those problems are still going to go with you to Florida. Sorry. You'll just have problems in hotter temperatures.
And you know what that reminds me of? How many times, I don't know if you hear this, I hear this all the time in my line of work, but my business is different. Mm-hmm. My problem is unique. And I think that it's the same thing. We're all human beings. We all got the same problems. And chances are there is a great solution for you already out there. So you just got to look for it. That's all.
Right, exactly. That comes down to a hashtag woo-woo. This is a woo-woo epiphany moment. But, I mean, it really does.
Hot flash. Woo.
Oh, hashtag hot flash. So I just turned the temperature on the car, too. I must be having a hot flash, too. It's a sympathy hot flash for you. So This is a little hashtag woo-woo, but it really is. If you know, people think, oh, well, you know, this isn't working out in my business or that isn't working out in my business. Maybe I need to do something else. Maybe what I'm doing isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. But really, if that was what was in your heart to begin with and that was your passion to begin with, then it probably is what you need to be doing. And taking that, that emotion and that feeling that you're having into another new business or adventure may not work out either, because you didn't fix whatever it was that was causing that issue, that problem, or that feeling to begin with. Does that make sense? It's
So
just like the moving to a different state.
Are you
Yeah,
channeling Macmillan?
yeah, I've channeled my inner Helen. Hi, Scott. He popped in to say hello.
Hey,
He loves the video quality from the car. Yay! I'm in a Target parking lot, Scott. So thank you. But I mean,
we were just very woo-woo on vacation. Scott.
Do what? I didn't get the last part.
Oh, I said we were just getting woo-woo on vacation. We shared all kinds of. Hey, since you're a new member, Scott, we were looking for what are your tips when you go on vacation? What are your must-have gadgets? Do you have any tips about going on vacation? Throw them in the comments or share them with us so we can see them too.
Yes, let us know. What do you do when you go on vacation? And some people just don't work. And sometimes, you know, you feel envious of those. Like my husband works a traditional type job where he takes 2 weeks off, and, you know, they're not going to call him and ask him how to make microchips or tell him that something broke. They're just not going to do it, and that's great. And sometimes I wish that for myself. I'm like, oh, I should just get a 9-to-5 where when I'm off, I don't have to hear from anybody. But honestly, I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and I wouldn't be happy in that type of job. So that's just what we do as entrepreneurs, and that's just the mold we're cut from. And we enjoy it, even though sometimes it might irritate us. We still wouldn't trade it to do the 9-to-5 thing.
I agree. And I really love the woo-woo comment you made about if you think you're not being successful. You know, you and I had a couple conversations over the last week where I was working on a project and I wanted it to work out a certain way and it didn't. And I immediately went to the conversation of, I suck. I can't do anything right. This isn't working. And ultimately, when I pulled my emotions out of it, I was able to resolve the issue. Everyone was happy. And the other thing that I'm doing, which is also a great vacation opportunity for your business. We spent the first part of the show talking about how you can keep working on vacation, but now I would really like to talk about how to do the most important work of all, which is get away from your business, get away from the emotions of it all, and maybe take the time to look at what you're creating for your future. Are you happy with where you're going? I'm telling you guys, I just finished up a big project, and I have vowed to take probably at least a few weeks off, if not a month or so, of any new ideas. I'm not taking on any new shiny object. I am only looking at what I've done, what I've loved doing, what worked, what didn't work, what can I do to fix it or not fix it, or, you know, this whole conversation of stop the merry-go-round, I'm going to get off for a while. And I think there's a lot of value for that.
It is, because especially, and, you know, I was telling you this too, and I think it's true, when you've come through a big project like you just finished, and as entrepreneurs, that's like a high for us. That's like a drug. And so once that drug is over, once you've smoked the crack pipe of Visapalooza, you're out looking for your next fix. And that's what you're doing. And you will burn yourself out. You know what I mean? You're going to have the tics. You're going to be, you know, scratching your face.
That's what I was doing. I was like,
I know. So you're looking for that next fix, that next high of, you know, creating something, because that's really what drives us as entrepreneurs. But you got to remember, we're still human. And we still have this human mind and human body. And when you put on an event that massive, sometimes it's a good idea to just take a week or two and just be and relax, because you're going to get burned out, because you can only do that for so long and so many times to keep searching for that entrepreneurial high. You got to stop somewhere and say, hey, I need to take some time for me and just wait, let things settle before I take on new clients, or I'll have like a big rush of new clients come in, and then it's burning me out, and I start getting ill, and I start snapping at people because I'm starting to get burned out. That's when I know I need to shut the doors for a little while, take care of who I have, and not take anyone new for a little while, which is really hard for me to do because I love taking on new clients, but I know it's going to burn me out if I take on too many at one time and start getting burned out. So that's a very good point. And you need that time, and you need that time after, your big Bizapalooza that you just did. I mean, that was a lot of work and a lot of stress. So now your mind just needs to relax for a little bit, just keep what you got going. And those creative juices are probably going to be even better when your mind's relaxed a little bit and you're not looking for that next entrepreneurial fix. So that's great advice.
That is what vacations are for, and we should probably look at letting you and your husband get back to yours.
My husband, I'm sure, is happy about that. Are you happy?
Amen.
So he's back in the car. We're going to go. I'm glad that you guys joined us this week. I'll be on the road again next week, probably up the west side coast of Florida by that time, by the middle of next week, because we're going all the way down the East Coast into the Keys and then back up the west coast of Florida. And so we're covering the whole outside. That's the plan. So, and I'll be posting some pictures for you guys too. So watch my Google Plus and my Facebook, and you can see some pictures along the way too. But I'm glad that you guys joined us. Really, take a vacation. It's summertime. Spend some time with your kids. Even if you don't have, the money to go, far away or whatever, just take some time for yourself. Go, to a pool or, somewhere you enjoy. Go do a daycation, even close by, like you and I did the little day trip when I was in Ohio. That was awesome. There's things around your own where you live that you can go and just take some time for yourself. What the heck? That was his phone. So, yeah, take that time, relax a little bit, and that's. And do you hear his phone going off?
Car, he's ready to go.
I know. His phone is saying, "You got mail, baby." Yeah. It was distracting. Okay. But yeah, take some time, take a vacation, and I'll see you guys from the road. You have some closing thoughts, Ivana?
I don't know what more I can say. I'm so happy that you connected with us. Next time, we're going to do it. Maybe you'll be on the beach. I have no idea where I'll be. Maybe I'll just be in my standard setting right here where I'm at. But I'm looking forward to chatting with you. You guys, put your tips down below. Hey, if you've got topics you want to see us discuss on Random Hangout, let us know. And thanks for dropping in for your guilt-free distraction.
Thank you. Now let's see if even I can do our outro.
Let's see if I can do the outro without screwing it up. It's not doing it. Wait a minute. There's lots of buttons to press, and you have to press them a certain way. And then start screen share. That's what I did.
Oh, something's happening. There we go. Oh, you did it.
I did it. Go back to work. You go on vacation.